Negotiating with a narcissist can feel like getting on a ring for a boxing match against Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is, of course, fully trained, has a lot of experience, and we have our main arm tied behind our back. Our other arm is broken, we're blindfolded, we're told that we should not really punch too hard, and of course Mike Tyson can see that our arm is tied behind our back, we don't know it, and that the other arm is broken, and we can exactly guess how things are going to play out. My goal in this video is to give you some tools to redress the balance, to help you get as prepared as possible, and minimize the chances that you get pummeled by the other person, and maximize the chances that you get something closer to what you want and what you deserve. Before we go any further, please consider liking, subscribing, commenting, and hitting the notification bell if you find this helpful. Thank you. There's 6 points I'd like to cover with you today to help you be more prepared. The first point is very important. It is prepare. Take time to prepare. Too often I see people getting into tough situations where they have to negotiate or try to get something off a toxic person, and they walk in completely unprepared and they try to freestyle. And every time they do this, they get smacked in the face and they lose everything. They are not prepared. It can be tough to do this when we don't know what to do. That's really important, and part of this video is to give you some tools of what to do, and then we can go further. But another part is simply not allocating the right amount of time. I would suggest, to make it easier for you, consider how much time you spend complaining to your friends, to your family, to your loved ones, and racking it around in your head and going on YouTube watching videos like this one, and take this amount of time and allocate it up front in order to be prepared. And maybe that's going to give you a better chance to not be completely screwed over. Number 1, be prepared. Number 2, learn the techniques and practice the techniques. I share techniques of how do you negotiate, how do you communicate, how do you flip power dynamics around. One thing is hearing them, another one is practicing them. I do this a lot with my clients. We prepare for situations where they have to negotiate. We do this. You can prepare on your own, with friends, with other people, but this actually means acting it out, role play, put yourself in these situations, practice in the real world. Number 3, manage your expectations. Look for all of your blind spots. Look for the things that you expect to happen and ask yourself, is this really realistic? Why do I think something is going to happen or not happen? If you believe someone is going to be fair, but they've never been fair in the past, why would they start being fair? If you believe they're going to be fair because once upon a time, a long time ago, they were fair, but in the last months they never have been, why would it change? Look for your expectations. If you expect to be able to use your right arm to punch, but you don't check it, you might want to check it because maybe it's tied behind your back and you're not seeing it. Expectations make us weak, and any time you have a thought that says things should is a red flag of expectations. People who tell you how things should be are people who are manipulating you, making you weak, and they're probably trying to make you buy into their worldview, their ideology, or they want to keep you weak. Should is a red flag of very dangerous thinking and very dangerous people. Remember this. Look for your expectations, confront your expectations with reality, and see if it matches. And if it doesn't match, you can choose. You can either hope that reality matches your expectations, or you can adapt your expectations to reality. In one case, you get punched in the face. In the other case, you stand a chance. And I'd like you to stand a chance. That was point 3. Point 4 is unbelievably important. Please don't gloss over this point. Point 4 is heal. Take time to heal. Take time to do the work. Take time to not just watch videos. See a therapist. Work with a therapist. Be it talk therapy, which is very useful. Be it energy therapy, like I do. The two approaches are complementary. Do something. Work on your healing. Why is this important for negotiating? If you haven't healed, you've got triggers. Things will trigger you. Any kind of trigger is a sign that you've got something you have to deal with. If you are easy to trigger, you are easy to manipulate. Once you've healed, it makes it easier for you to put the distance and avoid people triggering you and manipulating you. If you're triggered, you're not in control. and you're giving power to someone else. And you're also expecting that someone else will not use your weak spots to get what they want. And when you're dealing with someone who's ill-intentioned and manipulative and lies, you're probably going to be abused again. Take time to heal. This builds up your emotional and mental immune system. It's so important. Take time to do that. Number 5, very important. You need to figure out what you want. And you probably want different contradictory things. Figure out which is the most important. What are you willing to give away? What is the real prize? You might want fairness, and you might also want to get your money back. You have to pick between the two. Too often people are trying to get some form of fairness. They're trying to get some form of validation. They're trying to get something like that from the other person. If you want your money back, you can ignore everything else. Focus on getting your money back. Pick your priorities and focus on that one. The other person will probably try to deflect by being unfair, by lying, by gaslighting. It depends what you want. If you know what you want, focus on that. Be willing to give away the rest. If you have it, nice. If you don't get it, it's irrelevant, it's secondary. Focus on what you want. Point 6, it's the flip side of this. Understand what the other person wants. They probably also want contradictory things. They want to maintain appearances and they want to keep your money. If you're able to create the tension between the two and say, if you're keeping my money, that means that you're dishonest, too weak, you don't have money, you're a loser, then you're creating the tension. Then you're able to flip around their logic to make them eat themselves. That's what you want. If you don't have a good idea of what it is they want, you can't negotiate. You can't see what you can exchange for whatever it is you want. Whether it's help them maintain appearances or allow them to keep the money for, or part of the money for something. Whatever it is, you need to be prepared to understand what leverage you have, what you're trying to get, and how you can use this to your advantage. So to summarize, take time to prepare, take enough time to prepare, practice all of the techniques. In situations like this, we sink to our level of preparation. If you're not prepared, you're going to ground zero. That's not a good idea, not a good strategy. Number 3, manage your expectations. Check what they are, understand why they are there, and challenge each of your expectations. Why should things be the way you expect them to be? Because it's nice? That's not convincing. That's not credible. And how were things in the past? Number 4, take time to heal. Work with someone. Work with a therapist, not a friend. Friends are there to be friends. You wouldn't go to your friends to work on your teeth because they're friends. You'd go to a dentist. Therapists are the same. Go and see a therapist. I suggest working with the talk therapy. That's helpful. I found energy therapy very helpful also. I use the combination of the two when I work. Regardless of who it is, do some work. Try to improve things. Otherwise, your immune system is lower and you're more likely to being abused and taken advantage of. Step 5, figure out what you want. Make sure it's crystal clear and get your priorities right. Step 6, understand what they want. Use this to leverage. Use this to identify what it is they want. And you can ask them, how do you want me to give you this if I'm not getting this? Ask them to sacrifice something. They won't want to sacrifice it. Use this against them. With all of this process, it's really important. You stay focused on what you want. Don't ask them to be fair. Let them figure it out, and you can walk away if you don't like something and say no.